Alright, I know we only just finished up our last EU4 campaign, but we're going to not hesitate and jump straight into our next one. This is Kalahandi, stationed right here in India, and we have a goal, a very single-minded goal, and the best way to explain it is to jump right into the game. I'm just going to trust that everything looks and sounds okay. If it doesn't, I'm sure you'll keep me right. So, glorious I was going to say Gondi, these are Garjatis. Glorious Garjati Kalahandi. I have a vision, and that vision is that the glorious elephants that I have are going to stomp all over some European skulls. That's the glory that I see, and the reason I was inspired to this is when I was testing Dharma, one thing that I found myself laughing maniacally about was when I was playing around a bit down here. I was invading Horde or Kandi or whoever took over this, and I was just brutalizing them with my elephants, and I sat there at work at my computer just laughing maniacally at the screen rather. So I want to relive that, but with crushing the Europeans, and the glorious thing about playing as Kalahandi here is that we can go full Horde, which means we can have nomadic elephants riding into Europe. That's a dream. The end goal is to both dismantle the HRE and I swear there was another goal. Something religious, right? I honestly can't remember what the other one is, but we have plenty of time to try to remember what that is. Right. Even though I've only just recently finished a campaign on this, I've got to... Wait, I'm not an Iron Man? Oh, well. That's a mistake that I've already made. Jings. Oh well, let's get you right back to here. How could I make such a mistake? Surely it's not that I've spent so long not playing Europa, is it? That doesn't sound right. I remember it like it was yesterday. I finished up Armenia, and then there were some kind of monsters that I had to hunt. But then that could have only taken a couple of days at most. And now we're back with our next campaign. Yeah, no, the intention is to go full Iron Man. It almost always is, unless there are some shenanigans I wanted to get up to in the game. When was the last time we played non-Iron Man anyway? Was it even Armenia? I'm legitimately trying to remember here. Okay, I think we can get the game back. That looks about right. So, getting it done for real here. Let's go. Iron Man, Kalahandi, Elephant Horde. Sounds about right. Because of all your EU4s on dev builds now, Jake? Oh, don't you know it. I was fiddling around with the new AI for much of today, and yeah. Well, we've already had the dev diary about it, so I can say that. That's no problem. Okay, here we are, Kalahandi. As I said, we've got the desire to go and become a horde. Thankfully, we don't have too many of these to work through as a tribal. What's our position here? Well, it's actually not too great. It might look like we have all these tiny guys to pick off, but they are the vassal swarm under Orissa. So any fights with these is a fight with Orissa themselves, not something I'm looking for, at least early on. Which means our only real targets are Bastar and Patna. Not ideal, they're both larger than us, and from the get-go, Patna even has a larger army than me. Nonetheless, if that's our only option, we're going to have to go one way or t'other, so I'm going to have to figure which is the most likely target and which is the more useful target, start spying on them, all whilst I try to find myself some sugar daddy in the region. What else there is to say about Kalahandi? We're a bit garbage. We have only 3 development. We have hostile coring cost, which is a slight thumbs up if you actually have it yourself, but all the land around it also has that because of Garjati ideas. Speaking of ideas, we start out with extra tax and core creation cost. What do we get? Fort defense, legitimacy, manpower, development cost. We gotta go a long way to get something legitimately useful with infantry combat ability. I do love tolerance to 2 faith as well, though. And hey, goods produce. Okay, it really ramps up in how good these ideas are towards the end, and we finish off with stab cost. Save yourself 10 admin every time you got a stab up. So, where are we gonna go from here? Jake, what's in the secret stuff folder? Usually in development stuff. I obviously can't open that up. I need to think who our sweet savior is going to be. I can get quite a few allies around here, but I imagine these are going to be many of my early game targets, so alliances with those probably not so handy. What I should look at is Orissa here. Orissa is a big threat to us, so too is Bahmanes, but mostly Orissa. Who are their enemies who would want to become our friends based on that? Malwa, Andhra, and Bengal. How are we looking there? Religion kind of gets in the way there. Andhra might not be a bad idea as an ally. They're allied with Vijayanagar, which makes them fairly untouchable, unless Bahmanes stomps down Vijayanagar. And that does happen quite often. Still, they're small, tight, and they have they punch above their weight, given that this land ain't too shabby. Yeah, Malwa, that's an idea, maybe not the best of ideas. It might be an idea to get good relations with Vijayanagar regardless, because I'm going to want to try to pursue that alliance. Perhaps eventually Bahmanes will threaten me, especially if I take over Bastar land. That sounds like a half-decent idea, so I'm going to try and get better relations with you and start making claims towards Bastar. And if it doesn't work out, then we'll probably get annexed and we're right back to the start. People are asking what religion I am. I am Hindu, which is why I can choose a deity. And given how tight we are with nations here, aggressive expansion. Ooh, but this could be useful yet. Alright, I'm going to hold off on... early game diplomacy is going to kill me, not core creation cost or even discipline. So let's go with the improved relations, especially since that will help us make friends faster, better. Oh, one other thing I absolutely have to do is I've got to get myself another elephant. The better thing is to hire 2 infantry. That would be considerably better. But I want to have my elephants on the map as often as possible, so elephant cavalry it is. I should also label Bastar as my most hated enemy. And it's not impossible that I might want Chanda? Is Chanda your enemy? They are not. Well, that's disappointing. But somebody like Ratanpur might want to join me in slaughtering Bastar. We will see how it plays out, but let's get that ball rolling. Jake, don't you have the estate ability to change deity? Well, it's worth a wee gander at the estates, right? If I recall well, which I don't, evidently, the Brass will help me change my personal deity, but only if they have a lot of influence. I can't give them land, which is going to seriously tank down that influence, so Donata there. So here we go. Ratanpur wants to be my friend. They also have Patna as a friend, and that might complicate matters. We're going to just shelve them for now. As long as I have a half-decent army and I have defensive jungle and no river crossing here, so I might not be all that safe from Patna. I'm going to try to get even more of an... Oh, Bastar have given me a nice opening. They've insulted me, which means I might be able to just launch a preemptive on them. No need for claims or anything. Their only ally is Doti, all the way over there. So if I get my elephant up and on the go fast, I could storm in, crush the Bastar army, and siege him down before Doti can even do or say anything. That would be delightfully devilish. Okay, well, thank you, Bastar. It must mean that you are a babbling buffoon. As for us... Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not good. I kind of want you dead, but oh, crow, what an awful air. It's all pretty awful here, actually. Strict is good, but that is not. Right, you might be our good general, though. You're not. You might be. You're also not. Okay, that's actually not too shabby. In any case, let's get that elephant going. It's going to put me into a deficit, no doubt. But it would be enough to slam down on Bastar. I'm almost certain of that. If I go for the early kill before they get any other allies, that might just work out for me. Crush you, kill you, split siege, hold out against Doti, and then this land will be mine. And then when I border Bahmanes, then Vijayanagar might see me as threatened, and then we go in for it. That sounds pretty good. What would be even better, though, is having 6 units so that I have no doubt I'd be able to defeat them. On the other hand, they might get an ally. So, screw it, we're just gonna do it. We're not scared of Doty. Show superiority. Easy money, right? It's a shame that I'm running into jungle. It's even more of a shame that it's got a river crossing. But we have to be... he's got two shock just like us. We're going to have to believe in the power of our elephant here. Unless he could be convinced to go into Kalahandi. If he cannot, then I'm just going to have to eat the loss here. I can't afford to have Doty make their way over. No, I thought he might take the bait and go for Kalahandi. But at the very least, if I take this, he won't have much to reinforce into. There we go. Well, we'll just chase him down and kick his ass. I'm afraid my elephants reign supreme today, Bastar. Get out of my new land. Now we become ruthless, which is good, since fire is where we excel at. So we're going to run him down, utterly destroy him, and then all is well. He's trying desperately to make a little soldier, but it's too little and it's muckle too late. Don't think it's worth having our glorious leader do the siege in case he dies and leaves us in this person's incompetent hands. On the other hand, Doty might just be able to get access all the way over. They just need it through Jampur, one other guy, and another guy. Actually, that's quite a few. Let's put the heir in charge. I don't mind them dying too much. So there we go, nice early victory. But now I need to consider where else I'm going to go. Patna are another tempting target, but they have some pretty beefy allies. In fact, all these guys seem in each other's, well, you know. So where am I going to look at? Andhra may still be a good ally, especially if I can get both them and Vijayanagar. So for now I'm going to improve those relations. Although having targets is good, having allies will keep me alive. Have we looked at the Kalahandi ideas, Jake? Anything special? It's pretty garbo until you get to the last 3 ideas. Well, developing is nice, but this is not going to be a tall campaign. Not by any measure. It's a good thing Doty aren't getting access over here. My units are just eating disease and not eating reinforcements. You can break up that block by attacking Chanda, Jig, yes, but Chanda is allied with Patna. That's still 9,000 units that I'm not in a great position to deal with. Also running an unhealthy deficit right now. Could punch a little bit of money out of the estates, but barely anything useful. I'm going to have a bit of a problem ending this war swiftly since Doty is involved. Although, if somebody declares war on Bastar whilst I'm ravaging them, that might make my life a little easier. We'll see what happens here. Aitai is going to attack Langshan because there will be blood. Nice event, I love it. Nowadays, Vijay is capable of taking on Bahmanis all by themselves. Don't underestimate their ability to become a regional superpower. It can happen that way, but Vijayanagar get hit with some early rebels, which can really pound them into dust. Seen it happen many a time before. Now I could not walk my way. What's happening here? Okay, not people that I'm terribly concerned about. I could walk my way up to Doty and punch some ducats out of them, but it probably wouldn't be a lot since they are just 3 dev like me. Jake, maybe send 1 regiment of elephants back home to avoid the attrition. Yeah, I was keeping them together in case I was under attack. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, so you guys can ging hame, as we say. But I am just... Sirhind already ate Delhi. What do you mean? This is all just Delhi. I know exactly what you mean. Lots of blood is going to be spilling. There's a lot of loose lips, but there are no sinks to ship here. I guess a fortunate thing about Patna liking me a lot is that they're not going to fabricate on me. That doesn't mean I'm not safe from the likes of Orissa, but That's all I can say about that, just Advancement of the Brahmins. Now that could be useful, especially if I desire to change my... Nice, if I want to change my deity. Alright, but Orissa is at war now. He's taking on the Bengalis. Whoever comes out on top... Well, actually, it's probably desirable for me that Bengal wins in this. But Orissa is the aggressor, so they probably think they have the best shot at it. Fair enough for them. Almost wish I had not recruited the extra elephant, because the money is hurting me, but I need to have my elephants on screen at almost all times. Jake, your merchants, that's right, I haven't placed them, although if I collect here, and I'm actually going to transfer trade with you there. Gives me an extra 10% power here, and that's probably worth more than collecting anywhere else. Alright, so far so good. Telewattsits here are a subject of Bahmanas, so not really a tempting target for me. Even once these guys are taken down, it's just Chanda, Rata, and Patna. None of which really open themselves up as delicious targets. But if any of them end up in some other war, then there we go. Then opportunity knocks. Really hope Bastar falls soon enough, because I need to stop paying my units. This is costing me an arm and a leg here. And that's even with... oh no, the loot's all dried up. Typical start to the campaign. Oh, well, here we go. Chanda have decided to attack Bastar. If they're going in this solo, which they are not, that opens up huge opportunities for me. Is Doti getting involved? They are. So you might even take care of Doti for me. Well, I've taken care of that. I will take a step back. Stop paying my units because I can't afford to. And then consider where to go. Right, even when all this is said and done, I'll probably be able to get my alliance with Andhra. So I don't have to have you there, but I'm contemplating what to do with Doti. If Doti made their way over... Oh! That's not all that bad. My useless heir is going to die. I mean, the stability, it sucks, but... It's all dynastically a bit rough for me, but at least I have a queen to see us through the worst of this. Alright, there we go. I got a tank having negative stability here as well. Alright, if Patna was going in alone, I would subjugate Bastar here and now. But they're not going in alone, so no ways to that. Let's see what we could be doing here. Yeah, they would eat total annexation and give me all their money. Doti probably isn't worth even getting involved here, because the best I could punch out of them is 5 ducats and some war reparation, some war reparations, so that's not going to happen. So better conquer the Ganges River so you can drop some heirs into it, says Dennis Wolf, obviously remembering a fun thing that we've done to heirs in the past. So yes, taking all this land for myself seems like the only right thing to do. I could leave Kankar, but then these guys would just eat it, and that's no big win for me. Then hopefully Bahmanes starts being seen as threatening towards me, because then I might be able to get Vijayanagar on my side. That's my thinking. We'll see how it pans out for me. At the very least, I've got a bit of extra land, at least. It's all in the same state, so I could even chuck some estates onto them, start getting stuff out of it. But for now, let's spend the abusive amount of admin power to core this terrible land. And who would I even want to put on here? The Jains give me tax, trade, and production, which is super nice. And because I don't need to convert them, and manpower is already levels for me, then that's probably a good idea. What am I going to be wanting out of my good friends in the Jains anyway? What I need right now is economy, so I will kind of happily just fork it all over to them. Although they're... yeah, that's a lot of influence to give anybody in my nation, but I'll eat it. I will eat that. Are there any downsides to your current tribal ways? Tribal events blow hard. So that. Oh, how I wish I was making 15 ducats a month, but that is a no. So, as I suspected, because I'm really good, Vigianagar now sees me as threatened by Bahmanis, because Bahmanis are huge, scary, they're rival, and they're looming down on my land. They don't want it yet, but Vigianagar, ever wise, realize that I'm at threat, so we're going to enter dynastic bonding with them. And I should probably do the same for Andhra, because I want the two of them to help me out. Vigianagar alone isn't a rock-steady mantle in my eyes, but the two of them together, now that's a different story. Excellent. So we've secured ourselves a bit of a safety net. Maybe. So that means I don't need to keep improving relations, but I need to think how to jostle this. Alternatively, I need to think how to get to Golconda for myself. That is certainly a lot more ambitious, but that Golcondan diamond mine, it's just absolutely delicious. You get that, you stick the right estate on it, and it just becomes your bank. And I want that bank. So, I was hoping that Orissa would indeed get smacked around, but it's not happening. They appear to be winning somewhat against Bengal. I mean, Bengal kind of lacks on the alliance front, which almost makes them a tempting target for me. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I have very little to my name here. You are now at war with Doti, but Doti isn't coming down and you're not going up. So none of these make particularly good targets. That's a shame. What I'm going to have to do then is make some claims. The question is who to go for. Patna's strongest diplomatically. Ratnapur opens up more options, even if this one's just a subject and this one's scary in its own ways. Jharkhand. But we got to get going somewhere, right? So Ratanpur, I'll begin spying on you, and then we'll get going with Bahmanis as well. As for my rivals, it's probably not in my best interests to make any of these guys my rivals. They do actually like, well, they kind of like me. Check what kind of missions do you have? Well, I've got the generic missions, given that I'm a wee generic Indian guy. Will I stay that way? Well, time will tell. Or I could tell, but I'm not going to. Somebody is pointing out that there's no feudalism for us at Spam. Indeed, I don't. If I want feudalism, the best thing I can do is conquer it. Or I could have my good friend Andhra just sell me feudalism. It's going to cost a whole lot of our income. That's actually not a small amount. However, that is totally worth it, so we're going to accept that. And now we're going to get knowledge sharing in the capital, plus growth from it, and it might even be worth my time doing institution spread. Yes, because the cost is absolutely minimal, whereas the speed up is quite nice. I'll take it. Nice guy, Andhra. Damn right. Does everyone around you... Okay, so let's answer the feudalism question. All that's green has feudalism. Notice the gulf that is the Gondi and Garjatis. See, totally in my defense of why I almost said Gondi at the start. There we go. Right on the border of it. And the lands I just took are Gondi, which means they're not even fully accepted in my country. I will probably be increasing autonomy on these lands soon enough, because I can't be handling revolts with my paltry 5,000 army. Sorely tempted to build another unit. The maintenance wouldn't be good, but it's always nice to... It's gonna discourage others from absolutely bodying me. Now, unfortunately for me, you're going to be tied in that war with Doti for a long time, most likely, because you're going to be at a stalemate. Courtesy of me eating Bastar. Not even sorry about that. FPQC with the real talk here. Why not use harsh treatment to get up that absolutism? Give it another couple hundred years. Okay, I'm going to address the elephant in the room. I obviously have not been streaming EU for quite a while. Now, really, it's all just excuses, but I'll give it to you anyway. I've been really busy, not just with work as normal, because hell, work always keeps me busy, but I've had my own side projects going on as well. I actually cleared all those out of the way and was like, okay, it's time for streaming. Then Monster Hunter came out, and I don't know how many hundreds of hours disappeared into that gulf, but it was all my usual streaming times, I'll tell you that much. However, I have managed to do pretty much everything there is to do in that game because it's criminally low on content, and now I can get back to the regular streaming of Grand Strategy, as well as weekly one-shots, punishments, and Cemented Caesar, of course. You know how it is. Alright, so we have our Conquest Casus Belli. What we're going to do with them, I couldn't say. Tell us about your side projects, Jake. If I was going to, I wouldn't have brushed it off as a side project, so please just believe that I do more in my life than just work and stream. It's been known to happen. Right, a little concerned about claims being put on me because it means the people that I previously said, oh, they're lovely, friendly people. Ooh, Ratanpur also got themselves an alliance with Vijayanagar. That makes them a very poor choice of a target. And given Patna's laundry list of friends as well, that's actually making Chanda, with their horrible Gondi land, an actually decent target. Well, Vijayanagar are not interested in slaughtering Orissa, nor would they be anytime soon. They're not going to get any traction going with that land. My best bet, truth be told, is slapping down Bahmanes with the power of Vijayanagar, but the risk there is monumental, and I don't like taking huge risks and just going, we'll do over if it doesn't work out. So we're going to... Because of your attitude towards them, you don't even want to get involved in a war like that. Interesting. Still, opportunities for Orissa are not completely out of the question. Patna's more trouble than they're worth right now. Let's build up the spy networks, and we will operate with ruthless efficiency as soon as an opportunity pops up. That's how it's going to work. Not really making money right now. Not naming enemies because I'm not in the business of making enemies right now. Well, thank you, Vijayanagar. Decided to give me money even though I'm not at war with an enemy of yours, which I will admit is not an action I've seen from the AI thus far, but they clearly know who I am, so I'm just going to let them do that. So I got nice guy Andra giving me knowledge. I've got Vijayanagar paying me like 6 times what that knowledge is. Yeah. You've chosen your allies very well, Jake. It's not an accident, okay? I went to border Bahmanes. Right, I targeted Bastar. I could have just as well targeted Patna, but Patna would have not gotten me the border with the ever-threatening Bahmanes. Because Vijayanagar is an excellent ally to have if you are a non-regional power Hindu. They're pretty good, they can look after themselves 9 times out of 10. And because they're cornered here, you don't really have to worry about their backsides. They'll worry about that. Sometimes when you have an ally like Mawar, right, they're going to get attacked from all ends. You're going to get dragged into things you don't want to. With Vijayanagar, it's Bahmanes or it's Gujarat, and that's it. You're not going to be worrying about them being attacked by cotton candy. And Andra being our mutual ally works out as well. Jake, they're just giving it to you so Bahmanes can't take it from them. Yeah? Well, Bahmanes is going to have to fall, and as part of that I'm going to have to take Golconda. Won't be easy with Warangal in the way, but at least I have enough units to almost do a decent siege. Not quite, unfortunately, because the moment we have a bad roll and get disease, then that all goes out the window. Okay, so all is well. I'm a bit stuck for opportunity right now, but the best opportunities are the ones that you make for yourself, so we'll be okay. I will find a way. I might also want to consider other alliances. Who is even there? The best alliances to seek are those that are Vijayanagar's allies, but that is Ratanpur, who I really want to kill because they are my gateway drug into Yarkand and Garka, which themselves are into Malwa. And if you ever get the chance to one-shot Malwa, you take it because you get their subjects. Yeah. I tell you, even if you're going to eat 100% Liberty Desire in these guys, better to have them and not need them than... You know how it goes. Jake Bengal just got deleted. Orissa doesn't surprise me here, but Arakan did something pretty amazing there. Yeah, I strongly suspect that Bengal's going to try to come back with their rebels, but it won't be enough. This is a concern for Orissa. However, they are enemies with Jampur. Not with anybody else regional. Jampur could just as well be my friend, and in an allied takedown we could delete Orissa. And I would quite like to have Orissa's coastline. That's not a terrible idea. So once we get our next claim, that's exactly what I'm going to be going down on. If I get a strong ally north and south, I'm going to... Jampur I would use and abuse and chuck away. Vijayanagar, they're a good friend for a long time. Okay. I'm not the only one being offered free... Well, not free, but knowledge. Knowledge at a price. So this was Spy Network for getting that Shandon claim. Otherwise, Jampur, I think we could be good friends. It's because you see that I'm, yeah, threatened by Bahmanis again. We share something else here. Remember, 100% overextension every war, or it wasn't worth it. Coalition's just a number, says Sinistar Gehi. I remember the times when I would just plow through the game going, this is just a number, that is just a number. But this time I'll be plowing through Europeans, and I don't want them to just be numbers. I want to hear the shattering of their skulls underneath my... They're just feet, right? You wouldn't call them hooves or anything like that. Under my elephants. Did Vidge just influence Jake? There we go. Great power influence on Kalahandi. Which is just as well, because we're going to be struggling on monarch points, especially when this dunce takes the throne. It's extremely tempting to throw him into the Ganges. He's just real. Okay, I'm doing it. There you go. Still a lot of life in Pratapaya Deo II Gangavanshi. All that vitality has got to be put towards making an heir that isn't awful. Yeah, as the Ganesh puts it in, 004 is just fish food. Okay, that's all well, but now I wouldn't mind some Renaissance, but that's going to be a long time coming for me. We're still working on the feudalism. Right, opportunities are slim, but I am safe, and I'll take that for now. Those Bastars want to rise up, unfortunately. The unrest is not insurmountable here, but given that the autonomy is just a number here, that we can drive up. It's not going to affect our income too much because I've sold my soul to the Jains. Just hope they don't get loads of influence and overpower the nation. That would be troublesome. I still remember you doing 3 mountains and watching you spam missions to get points. It was really thrilling. So I was actually thinking about 3 mountains earlier, because I've done it 3 times. They all just blend together in my head. I only streamed 1 of them, right? 2 of them were AARs. The one that I streamed had the points from a colony, right? Man. You know, it was like the one thing I did to put myself on the map, so to speak, and I can't even remember it. So, unfortunately, the rains have failed me. Tax and devastation in Garjat. Well, damn, because that's the whole area, and all of my lands are in that area. Well, bully to me. I'm gonna wait for the feudalism to spread to all provinces, so I don't even have to pay for it. Why not get the free base tax from Jains here? Well, I already did the coring, didn't I? The reason I didn't... Well, did I have a good reason? Probably not. That influence is a little concerning. Yeah, but most of that's from their development, that's okay. That is A-okay. Why the heck not? What could the Brahmans do? The Brahmins do for me? There are a few things that I wouldn't mind getting out of them. It's not like prestige and legitimacy are things that I even can have right now. Alright, I'm gonna plow you for some points, because points mean prizes. The Rajput's not so concerned about. The Vaishyas, Wouldn't mind a bit of money. Hell, I already have no prestige, so take what you will out of me. But show me the money, because hell, I need money. It is a bit tempting to make myself actually have some stability, but low stability can be a blessing in itself. If you're going to take a 5 stability hit for breaking a truce, it's kind of nice to already be at -2 stability, and you just laugh it off like a bad joke. Alright, Patna, I can actually have 2 claims on you. You're probably still at war with No, you finished up your war with Doti. Chanda makes an excellent target if you just wouldn't help them. But I would need you to be cruel or otherwise fall out with them, because it's not like you've had any difficulties in your life. Don't you need a truce first to consider that, Jake? I have a truce. I got a truce with Doti. Could break that for any number of reasons. So, kind of good news for me. Vijayanagar is eating up Calicut, which means they're going to solidify their lands back home and make them stronger for the inevitable fights I want to use them against Bahmanis for. Jane have an option to remove 2 corruption, so maybe debase. Yeah, but right now debasing gives me next to nothing, so I'd rather hold out for when it gives me considerably more than nothing. Right. Damn. Potential targets are all super allied with each other. That's Doab. I don't care about Doab. I mean, I really don't care about Doab. I only transfer a bit of power away from it. Now I don't even do that. But the reason I sent it to Doab to move money away, and I don't even care where to, is because by doing that, if I find myself somewhere on the list here, Kalahandi, I get an extra, here we go, 10% because he's working there. As long as you're collecting in your home node and not in various places, each active pushing trader will give 10% there. You could actually flip from tribal despotism to tribal monarchy. Now that's a good point, because tribal monarchy, tribal despotism, It's quite a bit nicer for that core creation cost. The corruption, on the other hand, not so nice, but the corruption wouldn't cost a lot to get rid of at this point. Well, not an overwhelming amount, but enough for me to put those subsidies to work. And those James. That gives them even more influence, which is a bit scary though. Especially if they get an event that pushes them up even higher. It's not a whole lot, but I'll give it a go. Worst case scenario, just pull them away from one of my provinces and they hate me for it forever. Alright, I know it's expensive, but we're going to have to embrace feudalism. And now I can actually consider technology. Now that could help me quite a bit in my wars against Chanda and Patna, but even with Miltech 4 against 3, I don't fancy my 6,000 against their 13,000. Okay, I will take this. I don't know what to call our heir. Alright, there's no further knowledge of the institution to share. All these names are too... Wait, was that Dustman? Because that's pretty hilarious to me. No, you can rearrange it as Dustman. But in order of vaguely remembering Samurai Jack the other day, I'm going to call him a coup. All is well. Pepper's pointing out, don't you use Patreon subnames for it? Yes, I do. Didn't want to use it for my first heir there, but I certainly have the list ready for generals and future heirs. So I've improved those relations with Jampur. If I score a marriage with them, I would be able to ally them. The question is, do I want to? And the answer is almost certainly yes. It seems like a clever use of all my political clout here. Just edging it over there. Actually comfortably doing it. I needed another 11 or 12. I got a whole chunk more because I get the relations as well. And there we go. I like his elephants too, but maybe they're a bit over gaudy. There's something I like about the tribal markings that you get on the Arisan and Gondi ones. Works for me. Even though we're not Gondi, we're Garjati. Yeah. I mean, I could change that. Wouldn't be tough. Okay, I need to consider my options here. Jampur is oddly enough not interested in fighting against Orissa, even though they hate them. Orissa will pack a punch though. Like, they'll pack a real punch. What might be a better option is... I can't even go there. There's this loser who I'd love to fight, but also not an easy one. Patna really need to go down. Patna and Chanda and all these losers. To really get that, I would need Jampur to have a bit more land here. That's okay though, opportunity will knock, and I will answer that door. Name your heir according to the year because it leads to comical results, says Sinister Geki. I'm all for comical results, but that just sounds a bit forced. This is real opportunity knock levels. If I could get Andhra and Vijay there, it's just us crushing Bahmanas. However, you're only at military tech 3. If Bahmanas end up in a war with someone like Malwa, then the time is now to strike. Otherwise, I need to find what to do with my diplomats. Getting the best relations possible with Vijay is probably a good idea. I'll need them for the ages. Otherwise, are you a claim worth having? Every claim is a claim worth having. Maybe respawned Bengal, have no idea. Ah, they did manage to make it back, but they are still Sunni. They got Delhi and... what? Ratanpur. Why, you only have an truce with Arakan. What I could do is best CB you, call in Jampur. What is with Jampur? He's an administrator, so he's not super interested in land. That's very sad for me. If you ally Bengal, they'll definitely want their cores back. Yeah, why would I wouldn't ally Bengal, since they would be very not happy with Jampur. I would rather subjugate them. Oh, those cores would be nice. One of the fun games I did run when testing Dharma was Bengal straight into Nepal. It was the best of all worlds. Alright, I'm still on that force limit right now, which is a shame. Wow, okay, I wasn't looking, and Vijayanagar's gobbled up almost all of the south already. Calm down there, it's only been 10 years, says the guy that it's more than tripled his development. Nothing to be said there. It's always a bit, yeah, when the real ones you want to fight are the ones that could punch your teeth out without even thinking about it. But Patna seem glued to Chanda. And you, well, Jings, you have the alliance list. Chanda, Bishampur, Ratanpur. All small fries, but I'm one of the smallest fries around. Jake, since you mentioned testing, who in the office is the fastest player who completes the most campaigns during testing and development? I mean, Starnan's still probably the best player on the team. That said, a whole bunch of the devs run campaigns on their weekends and stuff as well. The French Paradox and Duplo, they're pretty notorious about it. All I know is that it's not me. I'd like it to be me, but such is the curse. Yeah, I'm really thinking Bahmanis would be the easiest one to go for at this rate. I'd want Andhra involved as well, or for them to get involved in another war. For that note, I'm putting them as an important nation, and if I haven't already, Orissa as well. I need to know even when they're picking their nose, so I'm ready for them. This is good news though. Because Vijayanagar is consolidating all this land, he's going to be super powerful. He's already got 50% more of the army than he started the game with. And he's, am I getting this right? He called in Andhra in his war against Cochin? Damn, maybe it's a good thing I didn't roll the Cochin campaign, or else that would be me right now. Being crushed to death under these super slick and stylish elephants. Goodbye, Pink India. Their core probably won't even last all that long either. Alright. Not a big fan of sitting here without doing terribly much. Wasn't I going to be claiming some stuff? I'm pretty sure I was trying to claim you, so what happened with that? Are there any World Trade Centers in 1444? There are 5 of them, if I recall. Can I remember what all of them are, though? No, I cannot. Okay, one of them is here. Yeah, there we go. One World Trade Port. The other one has been conquered, but it was... I'm fairly certain it was one of these. Yeah, of course, it was Chittagong, but got conquered twice, so down it went. The other one is here in Canton. There's 2 in Europe. I think it's Venice. Oh, World Trade Center. Oh, you mean the inland tier 3? And then no, they're all the coastal ones. Could we get Caribbean themed guns, drums, and steel? Well, damn, my allies really love me. Even Jampur is shelving money my way. Larissa's going for Bishan. That is important to me, because that brings Patna into a war. That's extremely helpful for me if I really want to clobber Patna, which, spoilers I do. Let's keep a spare diplomat for when that ends up being a thing. Sadly, that would still get Chanda and Ratanpur involved, neither of which were currently involved. However, Chanda is only allied with Patna, and that means meat is back on the menu, so to speak. So you're going up. I'm not going to label Chanda as a rival just yet in case he suddenly decides to chicken out. Oh, he's on Tech 3. That's beautiful. But what do we have here? The Parishana. The holiest period of the Jain religious calendar. If I make concessions for them, they love me, and other good things happen. Or I eat unrest. I can eat that unrest. I don't want to give them 23 ducats. That's a lot of my money. Yeah, you may love me, but I don't love you that much back. Okay. Oh, my greatest ally, another elephant, roaring down on the Patnans. Man, the super tempting thing is to take over that land myself ASAP. Here's the thought, Orissa, how much of that land do you seriously want? Almost none of it. It just so happens that I want all of it. He may end up taking some, however... hesitation might kill me here. He's focusing on the capital right now, which is kind of good news. He definitely roared down all the army. There's nothing to be gotten there. Alright, this is what I'm going to do then. Shoot! That wasn't part of the plan. It wasn't part of the plan at all. Okay, what are you doing? Ah, you're laying siege to it. That is not what I was after. That is also not good. I wanted Patna to be involved. Now they won't be. Chanda would get involved. Ratanpur would get involved. Ratanpur is... Right, we can make this work. I will make this work. I have no option. It must work. Need a couple of grunts for this. I need you to take position. We're running into jungle, but we're running into inferior tech jungle. I'm not so fond of throwing my king away, although I do have a nice queen and a not super sucky heir available. Oh, I didn't even take the tech. That would be a good start. You know, whilst the other institution tech penalty starts rocking its way up. I don't think I'm going to super develop for my institution. I'm just going to take techs and techs for days. Not that one, probably. Maybe. Yes, I will. Right, how's this going to go down then? Got my pretty much everything I need here. I'm going to roar into Chanda, take it over, and then keep going. There's no reason to slow down. No reason at all. Wouldn't mind having some actual stability, but that's future Jake's problem. Alright, ready to rock and roll on you. Which means, Chanda, you are now my enemy. Patna, you are also my enemy. The question is Ratanpur my enemy? We share Vijayanagar as a friend, but I'm probably going to end up at war with you very soon. You are at Tech 4, but I'm about to make an army worthy of Mordor. So, that shouldn't be a problem. So yes, Ratanpur is also my enemy. Hope this doesn't screw me over. It could really screw me over. Is it worth it for the power projection? I'm gonna go, yeah, it will be. Make it so. Alright, Chanda, you need to die. I don't care if Patna get involved or not. In we go. You have a 3-shot general, which super blows for me. I will make that general, and he's not going to have these long names that I definitely can't say. It's going to be Haramir, lead us to glory, pretty please. You're not awful. That loss of 2 fire is more than made up for with that 1 siege. I'll still have my king lead us in here. And he's running away. That might even be worth my time. River crossing either way though.